welcome to 28 Minutes. This time we're reviewing the 2-minute video. I'm hoping I'm sat in the right spot. I can't be bothered to check again if I'm in the right spot. Hopefully I'm in the middle. But yes, 2 minutes. I just watched the 2-minute video, and that was diving deeper into why I'm doing this. It felt like more of like a justification. It felt more justification of like posting is kind of what it seems like and came across as. Because the first video was like, this is what I'm doing. The second one was like, this is why I'm doing it. But it was more a talk about like the internet, and like I didn't have high opinions on the internet, and like I still don't necessarily either. But I think my opinions have changed since doing more things, since making that video. So yeah, I think the big parts were this was gonna be hard for me to focus. It's been a long and rough week. But second minute, I spoke about just the internet and my hesitation of posting anything, because I used to when I was younger. Now at that time I wasn't really posting that much, and like there was like a desire to not take up space, to not be a part of the internet in like I think there's like so much like horrible things happen on the internet. So many like things that just doesn't feel good. There's like the addiction aspect to being on your phones and on social media, and like just like negative things that pop up and all that stuff. But I also acknowledge like there's good stuff, like art. Like I'm finding a lot of art on social media that's so nice to see, and it's really cool and inspiring. And so there's that balance of like there's a lot of like negatives, and there's also some positives as well. And I think I think before I was really leaning into the negatives, and now I'm kind of coming into the middle, which is nice. I do think at the moment, at the state I'm in, my like time spent on social media has really increased, but I think that's more of a note on where I'm at right now, and my coping mechanism seems to be going on my phone at the moment, which I'm aware of, and I'm going to be mindful of and try to fix and help me, but I'm doing the best I can right now. So that's really all that video covered, was like, I don't like the internet, but maybe an idea was, what if I created my own space, like make your own space of the internet that is nice and wholesome and all that stuff. That was like the justification for doing this series, just to like, outside of like making myself actively do something, put something out there, is why this, yeah, whatever. And I think I agree with it partially. I think like cause I think the idea of like making your own thing feels very like, not isolating, but it's like very like, if you picture everyone just doing their own thing, which maybe that is what we're doing anyway, it becomes very like clunky, and you get stuck in your own silos and all that stuff. And it feels like that's kind of what we lean towards, because we want to lean towards the things that we're familiar with and used to. And then, but that can also create other issues, but then sometimes those issues, it's a weird place, okay? It's a weird place. Yes. However, I have found, not necessarily on social media itself, but I have found since doing this and starting this, I've been Twitch streaming more, and on that part of the internet, I've been able to actually start making a community, and I'm finding community in people, and then that image of it is so nice and really just joyful and like really, really enjoyable. And that's been like a nice thing that I didn't expect and didn't see coming. But it's been really, really nice to like find those people, and to hopefully just keep growing in that way. Like that for me, I'm thinking of internet now, and I think more about Twitch and that community, and like just having like fun people that you talk to and play games with, and like just hang out, and it's a good vibe, and like it's a space to kind of like not detach, but like, because like you're connecting with people, but you're kind of detaching from all the other mess that's happening around us, you know? And I think that's a nice thing, and that's kind of what's been keeping me going, is doing that and being able to stream and connect with people in that way. That's really gotten me through this time, especially. So that's been really nice. And yeah, not something myself in the 2-minute video would have ever thought of, or thought would have predicted could have happened. So that's been really nice. And like the putting more stuff out there on social media, I think it's like, I just miss the days of like the early days where you just like post stuff like just to share it. Whereas now everything is like you're marketing things, you're promoting things. And it's what I do too. I'm always promoting my podcast and other things I'm doing, and like it's coming from a creative vein and wanting to share it with people. And that's why I feel less like bogged down by it, because I'm just sharing my creativity. But there's all these other things surrounding it. Like it's less, I don't know, it's less like this is what's going on in my life, and it's more like here's my life, or here's what's going in this package that I'm presenting to you. Which is the part where I'm like, I don't know. I miss just being able to easily post, I guess. But I'm also like, I don't feel the need to do that either. Like, I think the most recent things I've shared on social media is like a drawing I did. Music videos I've done, which I realized I fell off of doing that. I need to start. I need to post my other music videos I've made that have come out since. And then like yesterday I shared a clip of my pole class because I really nailed this move and it was so cool. And I was like, I just need this to be on my profile forever because I was so proud of it, and like it's really nice. I forgot where I was saying with that. Just like posting, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. I'm still figuring it out, and it'll change. It'll always change. I know I've seen like I've seen posts of like a different social media out there. I forgot what it was called. Upscrolled or something. Which I haven't looked into. It's hard because I think it promotes itself, whatever the thing it was that I found, it promotes itself as being a place where it's less, you just follow who you follow. It is like a timeline based thing. There's less like algorithmic things happening. It's just like it's like your own place, which sounds nice. And I think like the idea of that is great. That's what everyone is asking for. That's what we want. But I'm like, I'm so social media tired. Everything is all like I'm heavy. I'm heavy with social media, and I'm tired of it. So it's like, can I be bothered to upload another app? But I'm sure, it's if it takes off, it takes off, and then you join. That's what happens. But I'd love to get to a place where like we don't need certain pieces of media anymore because it's tired. That's the goal. So yeah, but I mean, this kind of ties into where I'm at now, because talking about social media in that way and the internet itself, and like now I'm using it right now as like not a crutch, but like a coping mechanism, just with everything going on for me personally. So it's like my look on it is skewed. Yeah, but that's just more like this will be my last video at this house in this spot. I'm moving soon, in under a week. So there's a lot of like, which I've said before, a lot of upheaval, a lot of changes, and like, it's just a lot. It's a lot more taxing than I expected. It's hard. It's not fun. I'm not having a good time. And the internet has been a place that I just keep getting sucked into, which I haven't experienced that in a really long time. Like I'm sure when I was younger, having my phone, I was on it all the time. But like I had gotten really good at not really needing it. I have timers on all my social media apps for how long I stay on, and maybe I break it once, a little bit. But recently it's been like it's not been good. But it's all like it's all been like Stray Kids content, and that's I'm not going there to like I'm not going there necessarily to not feel, even though that's what's happening, but it's like specifically for Stray Kids content, because that's been the thing that's like keeping me afloat in a way. So like it is specifically that, and like I can get a lot of that from social media because that's what it's feeding me right now, and like I'm appreciative of it, even though I know it's not the healthiest. And but I think like once I move, my hope, and we can use these weekly videos to keep me accountable, is like to kind of ease off that, because I think part of it, which I realized yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I realized like I was like really trying to understand while in like my hole of scrolling constantly, because it's not doom scrolling, I'm enjoying every single video I get and I'm eating it up. And I realize now, I'm like, oh, the same thing was happening like a few months ago. That same obsession, in a similar vein, was with Smosh and watching Smosh videos, and like I still watch those regularly now. But I'm like, I watched so many that I've caught up on like the past like year or two videos that they had. I've watched them all now, and so now I'm like, just I keep up with them now, and I'm realizing, which I recognize in that one, was a missing of community and being able to watch like community and comedy with friendship, whatever their mission is. Being able to watch that felt good to me and was fulfilling in a way, parasocially, like that desire of community. And that's what I'm getting now, watching the Stray Kids content, because I think I'm really impressed by 8 people in a band that like are able to make such good art and music and stuff and perform the way they do as 8 people, and like to have that tie, which I'm sure there's highs and lows in all groups and stuff, you get that like bumps in the road, but like just really impressed by it. And so watching that stuff yesterday was making me go, oh, I'm desperately missing community. And like I've been consciously aware of that since like moving here, and like I've done things that have helped. I've done classes and courses and different workshops, and like I go out and about, which has helped, and like my regular visits to work and stuff help too. Chatting with people online and all that stuff is good, but it's just not I don't want to say like not normal, but like it's not what I need. I think there is an imbalance right now that I'm experiencing, and I think like within the mix of also like now I'm moving and all the upheaval with that, and a lot of like life changes happening within this span of time as well, I'm like, oh, there's like a physical need for connection and community that I'm not getting at the moment in person. Like I am getting that online. I reach out to friends, talk to friends, play games, all that stuff, and that's been like immense. I'm so grateful for it, immensely helpful. Don't know what I would do without that. But like person to person, that's not something I've really had here outside of like a few minor things here and there, you know? So I've just been reckoning with that. But I think but I think the point I was trying to make 5 minutes ago was that my hope is that when I move, because I've already had that intention of finding community, building community in person, finding those people in my life, which I do have, you know, and I'll be moving closer to that as well already, which is good and positive, and like being able to make more time for that, and just like expand that bubble a bit more in person is something that I'm seeing now is like so important. Like it like completely overrides, I think before, there's like I'm a person that's comfortable at home, and I'm introvert. My energy builds when I'm on my own. I enjoy time on my own. I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy hanging out with myself. So I've always like put that higher, and now I'm like, oh, there's like the energy it takes to like be around people, to like figure out like the social anxiety of it all, like figuring out where I sit with someone, where someone sits with me, and the vibes of it all. I'm like, that is so much more like now, like I don't even care right now because I want connection so much, in the sense of not that I want to like be careless about like who I'm meeting, what I'm doing, but more in a sense of like I don't care about the anxiety of it all, of like the stress of like stuff that may or may not even happen, versus like just going out there and meeting people and have an open mind about that. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm a little desperate right now. And I can see it. I can recognize it. It's been rough. And it's okay because I've got a busy week and then I move. So that's been fine and it'll all be okay. And this will be like a nice little log to like kind of look back on and remember that too. Because I haven't been in this type of rut in like a really, really long time. And like I'm okay. Like that's the thing is like it's different because I know I'm okay. I think in past experiences it's always been like a doom and gloom of like it's never gonna get better. You're not gonna like it's a lost cause, but like it's like I know it'll be okay. There are gonna be so many good things that's coming up this year, and it's just me hanging on for dear life at the moment, and that's okay. But like it's like there's still an importance of having to feel everything you're feeling, even if you know it's going to be okay. And that's the part I'm trying to sit with and really struggling with. But we're working on it, we're getting better, and I'm like learning more about myself, and I'm learning about, I think what I realized today is like the coping mechanisms I have. I'm like aware of that now, being like, oh, this is what I'm doing to cope. And it's hard because it's like I'm realizing this while needing something to cope, if that makes sense. I'm like, oh, these are my coping mechanisms that don't feel like they serve me in the best way, but I also need something to help me right now. And right now those things aren't aligning. So we're figuring it out. Because I would say like my default thing of like coping would be making art, being creative. That's the thing I consciously am like, yes. But for the past like, I don't know when this started, because I think over Christmas time it was all good. It really was like the past month maybe when I came back from Christmas. I'm not sure. Maybe past month, 6 weeks, I think I knew and recognized I'm using my creative projects as a distraction. That was part of the coping mechanism to like not feel, to detach from how I'm feeling, just to focus on these things to get me through this time. Realizing that last week, I was like, okay, I need to like pause, and there's something in me that wants to just like not drop everything, but like just pause for a second and like relax, which I did last week. That was really hard. I'm still doing. It's really hard. But like my main priority has been focusing on trying to sit in the discomfort of the feelings I'm feeling, allowing myself to feel them and not running with them, running away, and like hiding from them. So like if I feel sad, allow myself to feel sad, even if I want to do something that lifts my spirits or like feels good. So like I've had to like, last week I was turning to like Stray Kids music to not feel things, and instead to like shake my ass around, and dance. And so last week I was like, okay, let's not put it on to do that until we've sat in our feelings. So instead I play sad music, I cry a little, and then we can play Stray Kids, and like learning how to kind of do both at the same time, of being like, let's listen to this music not to hide or detach from my feelings, but to feel sad but also feel enjoyment about this other thing. And learning how to hold both of those is the thing that's like feels tiring right now. And that's okay. I try to picture it as like building muscle, and I'm just like holding this thing above my head, and my arms just aren't letting go. And that's okay. But yes, so like, yeah, using my projects and creativity as a way to distract instead of feel, not serving me. That's not the best. Took a break from that, and I am starting to feel, and like it worked out last week because I was like, I don't feel like doing anything either. Like I just can't get myself to do stuff, and I was like, okay, then I think we need to like address whatever that is. And I'm starting to feel the like innate motivation again to do the things that I enjoy, that are still these projects that I've just am like not doing for a week or two, and I'm feeling the desire to go back to those, which is really nice, and I'm grateful for that. But so it like kind of like crosses out these projects. It's like I can go to them, but it's like making sure I'm not using them as a distraction. So then what else do I have to cope? And it's like, okay, like I don't know, it's like I'm like sitting in my feelings. Yes, learn how to breathe, do yoga, sit with it, allow myself to feel. I am working on that. We're getting there. It's okay. But like I want to find like just at the moment, my mental pathway of like dealing with things is to like immerse myself in something else. So like last week I watched a K-drama, which I don't know if I've talked about because I think I finished it. When did I finish that? On like last Friday or Thursday. So I haven't recorded. I may have like mentioned it probably in last week's video, but I finished it and that was amazing. It was a side tangent, a series called Can This Love Be Translated? And it was my favorite thing I've watched. I rank it above Heated Rivalry because of just like, at first I wasn't sure, but then like there's like actual messaging about like your emotional life, the emotional life of this character, that I was like, that it was a perfect time for me to watch it, because it was about this woman who is like hiding from her feelings, hiding from certain things in her life, and like really really fighting and like refusing to address it until like she couldn't, you know. And like then her choice to figure out how to face that and like how to navigate that and facing it, I was like, well, this is what I'm doing right now. So that was really nice to watch. Highly recommend. Also, it's the cutest romance and like such good acting, and like it was just so good. I loved it. It was really good. It was my first K-drama I've ever watched. I will watch more, but like I just need to sit with that one for a bit, just because that one I now have the highest expectations, and I just worry that that's not how all of them are. But that one was just so good. I don't remember what else I was talking about. I guess other coping skills. Yeah, because I like to immerse myself in other things to distract and detach. So it's like, but I think it's just where I'm at right now. Like I do think it's like trying to do this thing of like, I'm doing my best. That's what matters. And like I'm able to like function. I'm functioning, how much I would say function at like 65%, which I think is pretty good for what I'm doing. And by 65%, I mean like the 35 that's missing is like the creative projects I'm working on, and like having the healthy and like being on my phone is taking over a lot of that. Like that, or like the two things that takes about 35%, I would say. But like I'm still making sure I'm on top of my food, which I'm really proud of. That's not something I would ever do before. I'm like on top of my food. I'm like keeping my routines for the most part. I'm still journaling every day. I've gone to the gym once a week. And like I'm keeping up with things, which is really good. And I'm just gonna take a moment to celebrate that, because that's great. And I think it is because I know things will be okay. I'm not in despair. I'm just in a really uncomfortable position at the moment. And it's okay, and we'll get through it, and it'll be fine. But right now it's not fun, and that's okay. Yeah. But I think the move will help, because it will put me in a place where like I will need to like figure out my new routine and all of that stuff, but I think I've got the good foundation of knowing what that looks like now, which is good. And then being in the mix of like closer to friends, interacting more with people face to face, I think will like, it'll be tiring at first and kind of I think it'll be a big adjustment maybe, but I think it'll be really good and positive things will come from that. So it's really just like hanging on right now is what I'm trying to figure out. And then like also like just the awareness of like, okay, so the coping mechanism right now that I have is disappearing into things, being sucked into my phone to find things that I enjoy. But how can I like, I don't know, it's like one of those things where it's like, is that okay? Or is it okay to like, is that okay? Or is there something I need to be doing better? And that's where I'm like sitting on it, because I'm like, I don't want to, it's like I feel like I'm judging myself too hard, being like, you should be doing this instead. And I'm like, why? I'm doing my best. I'm in an okay state, but I think it's like I'm not liking how I'm feeling. But the not liking how I'm feeling is because of like where I'm at, and it's gonna change. So it's like there's not much I can do for myself because it's like external things that I'm waiting to change in order to do everything else. I feel like. So I'm trying to find the ways that I can help myself, and I just don't know what else there is. Like I'm trying to think like creatively, what else can I do? Like I sing, I dance, which is fun and nice, but like I think I'm not making like art around how I'm feeling at the moment. And I think that it's interesting because I think all my projects are focused on certain things and themes, and less about like creating where I'm at right now, creating my emotional world, expressing my emotional world in the present, which is like I would use songwriting for previously, and I still do when I feel moved to, but right now I'm not feeling moved to, and that is partially, I think, the avoidance side of things, not wanting to face things. I also just wonder if I'm like not there yet to do that and to like dig around in that yet. I think right now it's like just sitting with it and experiencing it, and maybe there'll come a time in like the next few weeks or so where I'm like, okay, I can like process things a bit more. I just think I'm not in a state of like processing everything. It just feels bigger than what my brain is able to handle at the moment, and that's okay. We're doing our best. I hope you're having a good week. I feel like, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but like we are leaving the year of the snake. I feel like this has been like the biggest conversation that's been happening this year that like it's becoming more popular on social media, I'm seeing, and it just could be like the internet culture, I'm not sure, but like we're leaving the year of the snake and we're entering the year of the horse. And from what I've seen, that's really good. There's good things happening, but right now we're just a snake shedding our skin. And this is like, for me, I'm like, it just feels so relevant of like, I am shedding my skin. This is what is happening. I'm going through a transitional period, and it sucks, and it doesn't feel good. But we're gonna turn into a nice horse and gallop our asses out of here soon. that's what I'm picturing. And it's aligned so far, so I'm just trusting that the galloping into greatness will come. But that's all we've got for this week. See you next week.